Once upon a time, I was homeless, or as the weirdos like to say, unhoused. Now, when I say homeless, I don't mean it how lots of people mean it, where they sleep on friends' couches or some shit like that. No, I had no car, I had no one's house to sleep at, I had no one's couch to sleep at, I had no any of that other shit. I slept outside. I spent months sleeping at various bus stops around Charlotte. I had nothing to eat but random packs of hot dogs from the Dollar Tree. It was like 78 cents, if I recall, at the time. And also has fucking Black and Miles because I had to figure out a way to smoke. At the time, I was not as accountable as I am now, and I blamed a bunch of other people for my situation. It was parents' fault. It was all of these other people's fault that I wound up where it was that I was at. However, even then, I was still aware that if I did not want to spend the rest of my life living on the fucking street, then I had to be the one to do something about it. It didn't matter whose fault it was. It didn't matter who put me there. It didn't matter how I wound up there. Spoiler alert, though, it was my own fault. I put myself there. My actions put myself there, as does every single other person who finds themselves in that sort of situation. You are where you are because of the things that you did to get yourself there. But I digress. That's not the overall point. Regardless, even if it was not my fault that I was there, it was still up to me to get myself out of there. And I did not want to spend, the remainder of my life being a fucking bum. So I did what it is that I had to do to figure out a way to better my situation. I had no idea what a better situation looked like beyond not living outside. I had no idea where specifically I wanted to go as a whole. I had no idea how it is that I would wind up there. I had no idea what to do to get there. But that didn't stop me from always doing things. At all points in time when I was awake, I was trying to figure out a way to better my situation because, anything else meant that I was just accepting it and would spend the remainder of my life sitting there. So I did what it was that I had to do. And slowly but surely, I worked my way up. I went from the bus stop to an extended stay. I went from the extended stay to a shitty ass quadruplex. I went from it's a 4-unit housing thing. It's the biggest multifamily before it winds up being commercial property. It was a little I had a unit here, 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 and here. I lived in the bottom left corner of one. She was terrible. It was in a terrible area, but it was better than the extended stay. And I moved from that shitty quadruplex to a shitty apartment complex. The apartment complex was shitty. It was in the ghetto. It was not safe. It was all kinds of shit, but it was still something, and it was better than where it was that I was before. And I moved from that shitty apartment to a slightly less shitty apartment. Then I moved from that slightly less shitty apartment to an even less slight shitty apartment. Then I moved from that apartment to a condo, which was pretty nice in a pretty nice area. Then I moved from that condo to a small house. I moved from the small house to a slightly larger house. I moved from that slightly larger house to a slightly larger house. I moved from that slightly larger house to an actually large house. And then I moved from that large house to the house that I am now, which is a pretty decent size house. It's not a big fucking mansion, but it's bigger than the majority of people's houses. And I did all of that simply by refusing to accept where it was that I was. And quite honestly, it wasn't even actually that fucking difficult. All I did was try consistently. But when I say try consistently, the majority of the time I honestly half-assed my way through things. I half-assed my way forward. I still made excuses. I was not doing all of the things that I knew that I should be doing, and I was not doing things to the best of my ability. But regardless of that, I was still fucking trying. And the majority of people's problem is that they do not try. They just accept the situation that they are in and expect it to get better inexplicably because they magically want something to be better, or they try and complain about something a bunch, or they point all of the fingers in the world thinking that that will fix their situation. And believe me, if blaming other people fixed your situation, I would be a multi-fucking billionaire by now. But it doesn't do a goddamn thing. The only thing that could do a thing is you. And again, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need to do something, because in life, you always get out what it is that you put in. The universe rewards effort. And as long as you are trying, that will pay off in some capacity. And the more that you try, the more that you will get. This idea, that people are doing everything that they need to be doing and it not working out is absolutely fucking false. You're not doing the things that you need to do. Not only are you not doing what you need to do, you are not even trying to move forward. You have just accepted where it is that you are. And along the way, along my path from homelessness to being nowhere near homeless, I had a lot of those stops where I just accepted where it was that I was because I got comfortable in certain places. Every time my situation improved a little bit, I got comfortable there because I was like, this is much better than where it was that I used to be. So I can relax now. And when I relaxed, when I stopped doing things, nothing happened. Everything stayed the fucking same. But then eventually I got fed up with that situation and I tried to improve it, then I would improve it and then relax again. It was a little cycle of all of this shit for the longest period of fucking time. But every single time that I tried, I got better because that is all it fucking takes is effort. None of this other shit matters. None of these tales that you tell yourself, or none of all of these reasons that you can't do a thing, none of it is fucking relevant. All it matters is effort. And at the end of the day, if you are trying every single fucking day, there is not a single thing that you cannot accomplish. If you show up to the gym every single day, you will get in shape. If you do what it takes to run your business successfully every single day, then it will make money. If you are trying to better your situation every single day, and I mean legitimately trying, legitimately showing up, legitimately doing what it is that it takes, not making excuses, not blaming people, not fucking around and doing other shit, not trying to take shortcuts, not trying to find a way around things, then you will get to wherever the fuck it is that you would like to go. As long as you set out on the proper path and walk in the direction of what it is that you want, you will get there if you never stop walking. But most people's problem is that they never fucking start. They look at the path, they see what's down the path, they see it's hard to walk the path, they see nobody else is walking the path, and they make all kinds of excuses to not walk it themselves, which is why they stay exactly where the fuck it is that they are. And if you are happy in your situation, then by all means, continue to do that. Stand the fuck still hoping to be somewhere else and see where that gets you. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, it is a path to fucking nowhere.